This is the walkthrough of this 2002 Cape Horn 74 Cowboy. She displaces 220,000 pounds light, and which isn't light at all, and is powered with a Cummins N14M, which is a big giant Cummins that I'll show you later. So just want to give you a profile as we walk past the bow. I'm shooting into the sun. I can't get on the other side, so hopefully this won't be too dark with the way the boat is. And so I'll just walk by her whole superstructure, and then we'll get aboard. And I'll just try to keep a running commentary. I'll try not to make you dizzy on the video. And one of my lenses on my camera is cracked. So if I zoom out completely, you can see that it blurs, and so that is this perspective. But I think this will be good for the purposes here. But this boat was set up to fish, and it's got a 4,500 pound steelhead davit that's behind the sun right now, right up there. You'll see that later, and she passes through into the stern down there. All right, stepping aboard. Nice Mark Whip stairs, and this is it's a faux teak. It almost feels like I can't say the name, but it almost feels like bamboo, or not bamboo, but cork along here. It isn't, but it's a soft over the steel, and much of this has been replaced, and it has been removed in a couple of areas, but it all looks tasteful, and this is a lot of the work that was done. So that's looking down the breezeway on starboard. Turn around, and I'm going to show you the whole outside first. So let's up 2 steps here into the Portuguese bridge area, and you can see this whole bow area. The covering was removed, and the steel reconditioned, and the non-skid, so all of this non-skid paint is new. This is a Maxwell hydraulic windlass, and the boat has also got a Westmar bow thruster and stern thruster that operates off of the same hydraulic system. The Westmar system on this boat is very extensive. So primary anchor there on chain, all chain, and then a lunch hook, so to speak. Fortress that is one of the biggest fortresses I've laid eyes on in a long time. Big stainless polished cleats, starboard ×2, so foot switches there. And I'm going to step forward and give you a view aft, looking at the into the pilot house, and just talk about this for a second. You'll see one of the things that hasn't been done yet is the windshield wiper arms are in the process of getting replaced. They are currently uninstalled. So, and then we'll look up to the hardtop up there in just a minute. So very substantial here. All of this has been completely, again, stripped and refinished in the last 2 years. There is a ton of storage in this area and this area here. These hatches are being redone on both sides, or they have been replaced. So, all right, I'm gonna walk all the way around, give you a view down the port side of the boat, and same down the 2 steps. Very substantial waist-high railing around everywhere as we come aft. And this banquette in the back is a very pretty polished teak table here. I'll uncover briefly. This is going to need to get redone. I think the one up on the starboard, on the fly bridge, is newer, but really a nice substantial table just needs to be completely stripped and refinished. But all the cushions are stacked up. I think all of these cushions exist. So we're under the hardtop, the extension from the fly bridge there, and we'll go up from the pilot house into up to the fly bridge. So I'm going to step in the salon from the aft door here, and I just want to show you the stealing. These are all sliding doors, and The way that they seal, they are all watertight, and the way that they seal is you undo here, which actually creates pressure against the seal. You can see it move in the door when you do that, but when you undo that, then you can open the door, just like that. So it's a pretty cool day. Stepping into the salon, looking forward here, all of the furniture, this is all in really nice condition. It does not show wear and tear anywhere on the interior. The cabinetry looks great. Lock this door back. Cabinetry looks good, in great condition. The headliners are in good condition. There's a drop-down TV there that comes down just in front of the bar. And if you look around, those are some of the exterior cushions that are stacked up there, and nice bar stools. He's got runners here. This carpet is fine all around. So watertight. I don't know who built those. The port lights, the hatches, windows on either side, they look like same Nordhaven type. Looking forward, so over and under fridge freezer drawers here on starboard side, there are, that's my briefcase, tile floor and the galley, and a nice granite countertop. Backsplash is pretty. All new appliances as far as the cooktop, and the microwave is new. The granite looks beautiful. It really complements the boat. Sub-zero over and under, 2 drawers on the bottom, so there's tons of fridge and freezer storage on the boat. So just kind of giving you a view there. Really, really pretty day here in Charleston. All right, before I go below, let's step up into the pilot house. Up a couple of steps here. He's got protective plastic, which is a really nice idea to keep things looking fresh and neat. Very well organized pilot house. And by the way, I didn't mention, but these windows are in the front that form the windshield. Basically, these are also heated. So replaced Garmin system here, twin screens. The Furuno original Navnet equipment still works. There are 2 radar units on the boat. Robertson autopilot, and there is their Westmar. Those are more hydraulic. Those are the stabilizers that are fully enclosed on port and starboard. So if you were to tear off one of the stabilizers, the boat wouldn't sink. You wouldn't have any water coming in the boat. It would just fill the compartment where it is. So this is a 12 volt, 24 volt, 110, and 220 volt system. So you've got 4 electricity values on this boat, so to speak, but that's pretty typical and less complicated than a lot that I see. So this is a nice big, I think that's stid. Yep, double stid pilot seat there. So you can have 2 people sitting here in the pilot house. And then more of the watertight doors, one on port and, one on starboard and one on port here. Big banquette behind, and that would be a great place, plenty big enough to sleep there underway. And there's also a sea berth up atop that's being currently used for cushion storage, but that's another very comfortable bed up there. So all of the, and I'll point this out, but all of the heat and air on the boat are chilled water. So chilled water system. Tons of drawer storage. There's storage everywhere. It's just a humongous amount of storage. More of the plastic protecting the stairs as we go up. So kind of showing you how this works. This is, the locking system tightens it down. Same, all of these hatches tighten against the seals, so it would truly be watertight. All right, let me step up here on the flybridge. Very easy up. Those stairs, big handrails on either side. Looking aft is a 19-foot whaler. I think he said it's a 2009. He replaced the original boat that was here, which was a Twin B something. but it's got a 150 Yamaha back there and a 40, that was the 4,500 pound steelhead davit, more than enough to lift this Montauk up here, but he's got everything covered up. So looking for it here. That's the same non-skid solution that was done there. I know this used to be the same thing here, but it's all been stripped off. Eventually it starts to go, and 20-year-old boat, it's been removed, and the gray non-skid paint with the grit in it has been applied and it looks really nice. There's a Highfield inflatable tender here as well. I'm not sure what the power is, I'm not gonna mess with that, but give you a view aft. So the array for radar and satellite TV and all your antennas are here and easily accessible. There's a little crow's nest that you can climb up into if you want, and also there's non-skid on the top of the hardtop up here. So he said that's a great place to sunbathe up there, and looks very safe and easy to get up there with the ladder that's built in. So, all right, let's step up to the flybridge. There are twin Garmin units here and more STID pilot seats. So you've got your covered Garmin Icon VHF up here, Westmark, the balance stern thruster controls, Simrad autopilot, that's the Robertson autopilot, and digital throttle control there. Your autopilot, of course, is all same. You can drive the boat with the joystick here. So. And by the way, the wheel is temporarily removed because where the cabinet doors will be installed. Inquired about that. So, Bose speakers up here. These are the cushions that I was talking about. Those are the ones that are below that go here. And let me take a look at the condition of this table up here. Well, I'm not going to pull too hard. It's tight on there, so I will not be able to see that currently. All right, I'm going to step back down, and 12 and a half minutes into the video. This is going to be a long one. Super substantial railings, very, very secure everywhere around. Another Marquip ladder there that's being stored, and these pretty stainless steps going up. All right, last view here. And then I'm going to step back down into the pilot house. All right, so give you a view looking down in here, and then we'll go all the way down. I like to not cut these videos, that way you can kind of figure out your way how to navigate through. I know it's a little dizzying to watch this, but it also gives you an idea of how you got to where you are going. So as we step down from there and turn immediately right, down 7 stairs and to the living quarters. Steve is here, and he has very kindly agreed to model the office. So he's pretending to do some work there. I'm just kidding, I think he's actually doing real work. But the office is a really great setup with a closet behind. Actually, Steve, is that access to the head, or is that a closet?
That's a closet.
Okay, closet there. So, all right, where I'm standing here, the steps come down. That's the master aft, and I'm gonna turn around just so you can see where you are. There's guest cabin on port side and guest cabin forward, the VIP. I'm gonna go in there, but I wanted you to just kind of see where you are. There's a head on starboard with a fully enclosed shower there. The heads are huge, so you really have a lot of room to move around in there. And then I'm gonna come forward into the VIP. Really nice bilge access. Here, there's bilge access to everything for tankage, etc. below, but a lot of closet there on starboard, and then I'm gonna turn you around, and this is the head ensuite access. Oh, sorry, there's the other door in the way. In there. So, all right, looking aft, I'll step to port and walk you in this cabin. More drawer storage there. I love when they do the blackout, like the heavy weather shield on there, so if you have to close those, but it also makes it, if someone wants to sleep during the day, you can black out the cabin easily. More cushions being stored here, and that is a full queen bed, I think, there, so a lot of room. Yeah, more drawer storage. So, all right, stepping back into the hallway and down 2 steps into the master. You get a view of the master. It's set up to be full beam. You get the full beam of the boat almost when you are on one side of the head all the way over to port side, but it is a very large master, and I'm going to call that full size, or a queen bed there. Cabinet storage everywhere. I'm not going to open all the drawers and everything, but you can see. So, and here is the master with a full-size tub, and that is me. How are you? Really huge master head there. So, stepping aft, engine room, the best engine room access, the easiest walk-in, not duck in, but walk-in, is here, right in the master cabin. So, over and under ASCO washer and dryer right here. Your one of 4 electrical panels, he says, in the boat, right in front of you. Actually, everything is very, very well labeled, easy to understand. I don't think it would take that long. I'm on smaller boats that are vastly more complicated, in my opinion, but even though this is a lot of stuff, you feel like you could get it all sorted in a relatively short period of time. Steve is proud of his organized workspace, and he should be. This boat has got, forward of the engine room, a completely fully stocked workbench and tools, and just entire workshop here. So a couple of really cool things I want to point out is the crash pump system on the boat is awesome. Opening this up, if not including bilge pumps, there is a very large pump that lives in the closet over there, and if you needed to evacuate a large amount of water from the boat at any given time, you could simply choose the section where you want to, forward bilge, mid bilge, aft bilge, and turn on the pump, and you start evacuating, and that looks like a 2.5-inch pipe, so that can take out a lot of water very quickly. So close this. So, for the downtime there. All right, all watertight bulkheads going aft. I'm not sure how many watertight compartments the boat has, but I think 4. Same locking system there, gasketed, 100% watertight. So looking aft into the engine room, 2 17.5 Onan gensets. The hours off the top of my head I cannot remember, but they're on the listing. And there is a dirty oil tank and a clean oil tank. We're thinking 500 gallons of hydraulic oil, or 15W40 if you wanted to take that with you for oil changes. I don't know how many that would give you, but a lot. And then the dirty oil storage tank there. Nice, easy step up on the platforms. I'm standing fully up right now with about 4 inches above my head, and I'm maybe 5 or 6 inches above my head. I'm 5'11". So there is the Cummins N14, absolutely industrial grade engine. Incidentally, 5,500 hours currently, and it is known to be a 20,000 hour engine before a rebuild. And the other thing about this engine is each of these are housed 2 cylinders. This is a straight 6, and you could, from each of those sections as 2 cylinders, you could rebuild this engine in frame. There's a way to lift out everything, so this is designed for an in-frame rebuild if ever that were needed. So the engine room is very squared away, very clean. Everything in the boat is extremely well organized, as you've probably already seen as I've walked through. So the Westmar system there, everything from on the Westmar is All of the equipment on board are powered by a hydraulic takeoff on the engine. I'm sure this engine has no problem power in that hydraulic takeoff. So now I'm ducking. The boat is, I mean, it gets shallow, not shallower, but well, that basically gets shallower as I go aft here. In there, and this is another, this watertight door is off currently, but it gives you access. That is the stern thruster installation back there, and this was part of the extension that was added by Cape Horn when the boat was new. So the original boat would have ended, I think, right there, but when the original buyer spec'd out that aft cockpit for fishing, that's where it went. So hot water tank there. All of the steering is very, very well accessible here. And then the water maker, which is currently not operational, but he says just needs to be serviced and used, is there. So, all right. As I mentioned, 2 redundant AC chillers. He says the whole boat can be heated or cooled by one of the chillers. So chiller 1 is there, chiller 2 is there. And fuel polishing system there. There are 2 main tanks on the boat, total of 5,500 gallons of fuel on board, and it can all be moved around. You can polish it as you move it, or you can not polish it and move it around. It just depends, but all of the boat can be filtered and polished, and that's all part of the manifold system there. And again, I look at all of the labels on there, and it's all extremely well labeled, very clearly labeled, and I don't think it would be hard to figure out how to do it. He runs 2 day tanks, 175 gallon day tanks, and he pulls fuel from the main tanks and puts them into the day tank, so you're not changing the what I'm trying to say, the attitude of the boat. Starboard by using fuel during the day, just makes things looks like a big Glendenning barrel there, and here's the other side of the engine. So, all right, I'm going to turn back around, and oh, here we go. Here in hours, so 5,516 hours as of November 22nd. All right, back out. I'm just ducking down. I'm not crawling or doing anything crazy, so there's plenty of room to move around while you're out there. All right, back out into the shop through, again, this watertight door, and looking that way. Man, he's really got this all super well organized. So, all right, stepping back into the master, out of the engine room, and again we pass the head there on the master head on starboard. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned there is a TV right in the overhead there that drops down here. So, all right, I think we are getting close to the end of this 23-minute walkthrough, and back up the stairs into the salon, and I think that should show you most of the boat. She's very clean and squared away. You've heard me say that numerous times, because that's one of the things that strikes me when I step on here, is the fact that it is, he's meticulously cared for, putting things where they go. And he said since he's in the boat 2.5 years, that he's had his hand on just about every single area, making sure that everything works, and upgrading and taking care of any issues that exist. So, all right, there is your almost 25-minute walkthrough video of Cowboy.